All right, guys, we really need to talk about what went down between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin last week, because it is probably the most embarrassing spectacle for the United States that I could think of in quite some time. Now, some of you might be thinking about the meeting between Zelensky and Donald Trump, and that was certainly embarrassing, but what we saw in Alaska, it was on a whole other level. It was something uniquely different. This was Donald Trump, the leader of the free world, just getting trampled by one of America's greatest adversaries. And the crazy part about the whole thing is he showed up with a smile on his face. He was like a kid in the candy shop, just clamoring at the idea that he was going to stroke Vladimir Putin's hand. This coming from the guy who's supposed to be our big, macho, masculine, tough guy. This is the guy who's supposed to get other world leaders to bend to his will. I mean, that's what MAGA has been telling us for the past decade. But what we saw in Alaska was Donald Trump getting played like a bitch. It was an embarrassing thing to watch. And I just want to go through a timeline of kind of Donald Trump's expectations to how things actually went. I think it's important for people to understand that what we saw in Alaska was just not normal. And I want to remind everybody that Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin are not only meeting on U.S. soil, which is unprecedented on its own. Vladimir Putin is a war criminal who should have been arrested on American soil. We can push that aside, but they're meeting to discuss land swaps and giveaways of Ukraine when Ukraine is not even at the table. This is not a meeting that should have even been happening in the first place. But because Donald Trump is so enamored by the authoritarian will of Vladimir Putin, he decided that he was going to go this alone. So let's go ahead and start off with this clip where Donald Trump is saying that there's only a 25% chance, guys, that this meeting will not be successful. If you guys do appreciate my work, please do remember to subscribe.
I believe now he's convinced that he's going to make a deal. He's going to make a deal. I think he's going to, and we're going to find out. The second meeting is going to be very, very important. This meeting sets up, it's like a chess game. This meeting sets up the second meeting. But there is a 25% chance that this meeting will not be a successful meeting.
So there it is. There's Donald Trump, very confident that, of course, we're going to make a deal. Of course, something is going to come of this meeting because I'm Donald Trump. I'm the deal maker in chief. That's what he wanted us to believe. He said there's only a 25% chance that nothing would come of this meeting. But as we will find out later, that is exactly what happened. And so let's go ahead and move on to the next part, because Donald Trump was asked while he was waiting for Putin, I believe, Putin, Russia is still carrying out strikes on Ukraine as we speak. How do you respond to that? And I just want to remind everybody, if Putin was acting in good faith, they could at least cease military operations until this meeting had completed. But no, Putin just walks all over Trump. He doesn't respect Trump. He is clowning on Trump. He is making Donald Trump look like the little beta bitch that he actually is.
We saw that Russia continued its violence into Ukraine last night, launching even more drones. What did you make of that?
I think they're trying to negotiate. He's trying to set a stage. I mean, in his mind, that helps him make a better deal. It actually hurts him.
What do you say to this shit? If Donald Trump knew anything about anything, if he was going to demand respect for this meeting from Putin, why would it be okay for Russia to be carrying out more military strikes against Ukraine as this meeting is about to begin? Again, Putin has no respect for Donald Trump. And because Donald Trump is so enthralled with Putin, he is so giddy at the idea that he's going to meet his authoritarian daddy, he just lets these things slide. No other American president would even have this meeting in the first place. But, I mean, it's just a whole other level of clown show that we are seeing out of this Trump administration. Now, this next image that I want to show you, it really just boils my blood, because Vladimir Putin is a war criminal. This is a man who invaded our ally, Ukraine. He has kidnapped thousands upon thousands of children, has brought them back to Russia, has given them new names. And now we have our military soldiers literally on their knees, rolling out the red carpet for this murderous dictator. I mean, what are we doing here, folks? Donald Trump said that he was going to be the man who was going to stand up for our troops, that he is the guy who supports our military. He's going to strengthen our military. But now he's got them on bended knee, literally laying out the red carpet for Vladimir Putin. Again, a man who wants to see the United States absolutely destroyed. A man who wants to reestablish the Soviet Union. And we're just going to send our military troops out there to roll out the red carpet for him. This is absolutely disgusting imagery. And now you've got Russian state TV just playing those images full blast all the time, everywhere, because this makes America look weak. We are legitimizing Putin on the world stage, and you have some of the strongest military force on their knees rolling out the red carpet for him. I mean, you could not even make this shit up. It is so damn disgusting. Now, this next clip is Donald Trump waiting on said red carpet, but look at how just giddy he is that Vladimir Putin is on his way. He's standing on the red carpet. He's clapping. He's got a grin from ear to ear. He could not be happier that he gets to meet Vladimir Putin on American soil. Somebody who should be arrested because of his war crimes. And now you've got the United States president clapping away, smiling away, because the authoritarian daddy is on his way. And then when Putin shows up, just check out Trump's face as they meet one another. Just look at that smile on Trump's face here. See that face? Donald Trump could not be happier with himself. He could not be happier that he is now hand in hand with a murderous dictator that Donald Trump would love nothing more than to actually be right here in the United States. I don't even know how to put into words how off-putting this is, how abnormal this is, how disgusting this actually is, where you've got the leader of the free world, Donald Trump, the strongest man in all of the world, who is now legitimizing a tyrant on the world stage who decided he's going to invade Ukraine, going to try to take over their sovereign borders, somebody who is killing civilians at an alarming rate. And Donald Trump, one-on-one summit with that guy, is happier than can be. I mean, again, like I said, it is hard for me to put in the words how much rage this makes me feel. Growing up as a military brat, somebody who grew up respecting the military and the things that the military does, you've got them now on their knees rolling out a red carpet. You've got the leader of the free world legitimizing a murderous dictator. And it just kind of spits in the face of everything that our country is supposed to be. I just don't know what else to say. And here you've got Putin. Check out the smile on his face as him and Donald Trump roll away in the presidential motorcade. I mean, again, you just cannot make this shit up. This is not normal, folks. The murderous dictator Putin should not be in the back of the presidential motorcade with the president, all by themselves. This is just weird. It is not normal. Check out Putin's face here. Again, we've got a smile from ear to ear. This is exactly what Vladimir Putin wanted. Vladimir Putin has now been legitimized on the world stage by Donald Trump. He could ask for nothing more here. He is the guy who invaded a sovereign territory. He is the guy who has been made a pariah on the world stage. And now you've got the president of the United States putting him on the same level as the leader of the free world. Putin couldn't have asked for anything more here. This is what he wanted, to be standing hand in hand with Donald Trump in front of the world. Again, I just don't know I don't know what to say to this nonsense. You are legitimizing a murderous dictator. You got President Trump, Donald Trump, who is like an excited little child that he finally gets to meet with his Vladdy daddy again. It is so insane. It is so insane. So then they sit here with each other. It was kind of a weird thing. They just sat and they stared at the cameras for more than 30 seconds. They didn't take any questions from the press. It was just really strange. But look at how defeated Donald Trump now looks. Now, this meeting started with Donald Trump giddy as can be. But as the day progressed, Donald Trump just has all of the life taken from him. I don't know what he saw. I don't know what Vladimir Putin told him. And we're going to get to a little later how some of the reporting is developing around this so-called summit. But what went on there, it doesn't sound like it was good. And you can see that Donald Trump is kind of having the life sucked out of him little by little as this day goes on. Check out his face here.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, press. 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 Let's go. Thank you, press.
Donald Trump looks tired. You've got Putin sitting over there across from him. He's smirking. Again, guys, Putin couldn't have asked for anything more here. You have a president of the United States who is legitimizing you on the world stage. And believe it or not, Putin would love nothing more to be validated on the world stage. He wants to be part of the global community. He does not like being the outcast. He does not like being the pariah. And now he's in Alaska on American soil, not being arrested, not being condemned in any way, but instead he's being validated, he's being legitimized, he's being propped up by the President of the United States. Now, the next crazy part I want to show you guys is that when you are on American soil, when Donald Trump is holding a summit here on American soil, the President of the United States, Donald Trump, should speak first. But no, that is not what happened. Instead, Putin came out and he just went at it. He leapfrogged Donald Trump, just steamrolled right over the top of him and began delivering his address first, which again is just not normal. And then in an effort to stroke Donald Trump's ego, because that's exactly how you win over Donald Trump, this is what Putin had to say.
Today, when President Trump saying that if he was the president back then, there will be no war. And I'm quite sure that it would indeed be so. I can confirm that. I think that overall...
I mean, this is just absolutely insane. You've got Vladimir Putin now carrying on the same conspiracies that Donald Trump has been pushing for years, saying that, of course, this war would have never been started if you hadn't got that 2020 election stolen from you, Mr. President. Of course, we wouldn't have rolled over Ukraine's borders, only if you were in office. Putin understands that this is how you manipulate Donald Trump. This is how you butter him up. This is how you get Donald Trump to take your side, even if you are a murderous dictator, tyrant, who is trying to steal the sovereignty of Ukraine. All you got to do is whisper some superficial nothings into Donald Trump's ears, and he's all yours. That is why it is so dangerous to have a leader like Donald Trump being the president of this country. He's an existential threat to our country for this very reason. He is a national security threat, the likes of which we have never seen before, especially because he is the president of the United States. Now, when it was Donald Trump's turn to talk, this is what he had to say about him and his daddy Putin.
I've always had a fantastic relationship with President Putin, with Vladimir. We had many tough meetings, good meetings. We were interfered with by the Russia hoax. That made it a little bit tougher to deal with, but he understood it.
Just think of how insane this is, guys. Donald Trump is putting Vladimir Putin in the same league as himself, saying that the whole Russia hoax, which was not a hoax, by the way, many indictments were returned from the Russia investigation, but because this is a conspiracy that never dies in Trump's brain, he's now saying that him and Vladimir Putin, well, they had to endure the Russia hoax together, like they're part of some sort of team or something, like they're in this together. And just think of how twisted that actually is. Vladimir Putin would love nothing more to see America wiped off the map. And you've got a president of the United States joining the same league as him, saying that we're on the same team fighting back against the Russia hoax together. We made it, Vladdy. It is pathetic. It is weak. It is disgusting. And it is an embarrassment for my country. It is... No other words really come to mind at this point. Now, both of them gave their statements like you might expect at a summit like this. And then you would expect that they might answer a few questions. But no, this is how they ended this press conference instead.
I'd like to thank you very much, and we'll speak to you very soon and probably see you again very soon. Thank you very much, Vladimir.
Next time in Moscow.
Oh, that's an interesting one. I don't know. I'll get a little heat on that one, but I could see it possibly happening. Thank you very much, Vladimir. And thank you all. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Flatty Daddy. I'm so grateful that you were able to come to Alaska and meet with me. And thank you so much for making me your little bitch. They left the press conference without taking any questions. I will remind people that Donald Trump said before the meeting even happened, he said, if we don't take questions from the press room, from reporters, that means the meeting probably didn't go particularly well. Which, by all reporting, this meeting did not go particularly well. They had a whole day planned out with the Russian Federation or whatever the body that they refer to themselves as. They had a whole day planned out. They had a lunch scheduled. All of that was canceled. And I want to give you guys kind of an understanding of what reporters were witnessing on the ground. Because like I said, not only was this meeting not normal in the first place, probably shouldn't have been happening without Ukraine at the table, but this was also markedly different than something like we saw in the Oval Office between Zelensky and Donald Trump. I want to give you a sense of what the reporters were witnessing, how they characterize just the overall tension and the overall vibe that was just not a good one.
What struck me, Jen, in particular, was really just the looks on the faces of a lot of the American delegation here. Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary, Steve Witkoff, who came into the room, then left quickly, then came back in. Leavitt appeared to be a bit stressed out, anxious. Their eyes were wide, almost ashen at times. Those were some of the sort of images that will stick with me as we leave here. This was not the way the president likes to do things. He likes to be the
This is not the way that President Trump likes to do things. He said, Caroline Leavitt looked wide-eyed, ashen, looked surprised. Everybody looked off. The vibes were wrong. Something weird went down there. Now, the only thing that I can really think of is maybe Vladimir Putin with his intelligence agencies or with his background with the KGB, maybe there was some compromising material that they showed to the Trump administration. I don't know exactly what went down there. We don't have any proof that any compromise was shown to the Trump administration. But the way that the reporters are talking about this meeting and the way that they came out of that meeting looking, it's like they saw a ghost or something. Something bad went down in that room. And the whole Trump administration, I think, was caught off guard. That's why the lunch was canceled. That's why they didn't take questions after they gave their statements. I mean, something is just not right here. And I want to show you this last clip, and you guys have probably seen this one going around, of Jackie Heinrich, a reporter over at Fox, saying that Donald Trump got steamrolled by Vladimir Putin. And just listen to the way that she describes the overall vibe as well.
Happened back there. It was just very unusual, atypical, and I think we're all awaiting, the readout, because the way that it felt in the room was not good. It did not seem like things went well, and it seemed like Putin came in and steamrolled, got right into what he wanted to say, and got his photo next to the president and then left. Of course, that is only the piece of the picture that we have right now, and certainly President Trump, who is the host and who is the president, would not want to, I think, enable something that would make him look weak.
Well, I think that's exactly what he did. He enabled this situation that made him look very, very weak. By all accounts, Vladimir Putin steamrolled right over the top of Donald Trump. He showed up to this summit happy. He was all giddy. He was clapping his hands. He was all smiles. Then they went behind closed doors for however long, and the Trump administration came out of that room, and it looked like they saw a ghost. They allowed Vladimir Putin to just start rambling, speaking first, which is totally outside the norm. That made Donald Trump look weak. He made it look like he wasn't in control of the environment on American soil. Of course, that made him look weak. They didn't take any questions after they gave their statements. That made him look weak. I mean, you add all these things together, and this was a poor performance for Donald Trump. This was an embarrassing spectacle for the United States of America. We are supposed to be the leader of the free world, and you just got dog-walked by a murderous dictator. You were made to be this man's bitch because you are so narcissistic, you are so giddy with his authoritarian power that you just couldn't contain yourself. Again, this was a bad showing for Donald Trump. He is a weak and feckless leader who got absolutely nothing accomplished in this meeting. He said there's going to be some sort of follow-up with Ukraine. Hopefully that goes better. European counterparts are coming along with that, so he doesn't get bullied around again. So hopefully that goes well. But this meeting with Vladimir Putin, it was an objective failure. An abject failure. It was not good. Donald Trump looks like an idiot. He looks like the weak and feckless leader that he actually is. He got dog-walked. He got bent over and fucked by Vladimir Putin. And this is the guy that MAGA wants you to believe is our big, masculine, strong guy, tough guy leader. This is the guy who's supposed to be the deal maker in chief. This is the guy who's supposed to be looking out for the United States of America. And instead, he's got our military people on the ground rolling out the red carpet for a tyrant. So, overall, this was a terrible, terrible showing for the United States. I think it made us look exceptionally weak. I think it made us look exceptionally stupid, ignorant, all of the above. And this is what we get when we elect incompetent leaders to run this country. Donald Trump has no idea what the fuck he is doing, and Vladimir Putin just proved to the world that that is actually the case. So I will leave it there for now, guys. If you guys got anything out of this video, please do remember to smash that like button and subscribe. Maybe share with a friend or two. I'd very much appreciate that. We've got to build something here on the left that pushes back against this right-wing media ecosystem that just launders all of these fuck-ups for Donald Trump day in and day out. So if you do like what I do here, please do remember to smash that subscribe button. Of course, that is free right here on YouTube. And if you guys want to go a step above and beyond that, we have launched a Substack over at politiscape.substack.com. And if you don't want to jump over to a new platform, you can subscribe right here on YouTube for as little as $3 a month. And as I will continue to say, everybody, fighting back against this MAGA media machine, it has got to be a team effort. I'll see you guys on the next one.